Now let's start.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Firstly, introduce yourself in brief.
Sir, my name is Satyendra. I have been born and brought up in Aligarh. I have done schooling from Aligarh Muslim University. I have done BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Patna. I have done MBA in Finance and Economics from Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. After that, I have worked for 3 years with a stock market firm in Mumbai. My optional subject is economics.
Okay. You belong to district Aligarh. So tell me the specialty of Aligarh, or Aligarh is famous for what?
So Aligarh is primarily famous as lock and hardware center. Also, it is also known as education hub because of the existence of Aligarh Muslim University there.
So Aligarh, there is a economic base of any districts. So Aligarh is based on which economic activities?
So around 40% of the workforce is involved in agriculture. So I would say the primarily the agriculture is the main source of Aligarh's economy.
Okay. The Aligarh Muslim University always been in the news for that they there is anti-social activities are happening in the inside the campus. So do you agree that there are anti-social activities are happening, or the students are not performing their work or for which they are studying well?
So I would not say those activities as anti-social activities. They are protest against some grievances, but and most of the process are peaceful. So the students are also performing their work, as we can say in many research studies from Aligarh Muslim University.
Okay, tell me, there is a situation that's suppose you are a district collector of Aligarh, district Aligarh, and there is a pupils or the students are collecting and they are demanding and they are, even suppose they are opposing the um, bill that was inserted by the government. So how will you handle the situation?
So my first step would be to talk to the students and and try to listen to them and understand what are their demands.
So if are they are not listening to you properly or peacefully, they are just concerning, or they are just saying that they are not happy or they are not satisfied with your decisions. So in such a case, the students are collecting, leaving their hostels and halls, collecting at the main gate or the entrance gate of that university campus of Aligarh Muslim University. So how will you handle the situations? The pupils or the student are very unhappy with the government newly uh, bill or
So
act.
So I would still like to talk to them and know their specific grievances, that what are their demands and what are the issues they are saying. So listening and understanding them will be the first priority.
Okay. There is a debate is going on nowadays. That's Indian cricket team achieve a huge success in spite of not uh, the part of the Virat Kohli, the captain of Indian cricket team, and there is a many youngsters are the part of the squad of Team India, and because of the many of injuries happens in Australia. So in spite of many injuries, so India achieve a huge success against a mighty bowling lineup or strong bowling lineup of Australia. So how will you see that, or what the things you try to achieve or you try to gather from that situation?
So I would say it was a very great victory of our country in a foreign land. So what how I see is that in the adverse situations where most of our star players are not in the team, we have performed extremely well. This shows patience and persistence on part of our players.
Okay, do you know about Sachin Tendulkar?
Yes, sir.
So what do you learn from the life of Sachin Tendulkar? In the age of just 16 years, he starts playing international cricket, and at that time he used had to face a bowling lineup, extremely attacking bowling lineup, Pakistan, Australia, Sri Lanka. So how do you what do you learn from Sachin Tendulkar's career, entire career? He played international cricket for 24 years.
So the main lesson from the life of Shri Sachin Tendulkar ji would be to dream big in life and stop not until you have achieved your goals.
there is another situation is that you are posted in the embassy in China, and some people of China are just abusing India in front of you. That's Indians and abusing Indians in front of you. That's they are not happy, and India is not good for China, and something like that happening. So in that situation, you what will your priority or what will you do?
Sir, if the Chinese people in China are abusing in a general sense, then I would I would tell my other Indian people to not pay heed to it because it has no substance. If they becomes abusive, then I have all the rights to complain to the police of the China.
Okay. The present government is working for infrastructures, or the road and railway networks. So, what do you think that how Ganga Expressway will help the UP, especially the western connecting western UP to the east to the central and eastern UP? So, what will the opportunity will create Ganga Expressway?
So it's a large infrastructure project. First thing that it will create is the connectivity of the our rural hinterland to the major trading centers of western and central Uttar Pradesh. So it will provide opportunities for farmers to supply their produce to the markets at better prices.
Do you know about Western Dedicated Freight Corridor?
Yes, so
What do you know about it, and how will Indian Railway try to achieve this target, or how it will affect or will connect the national capital to our economic hub Navi Mumbai? So after connecting this or after completion of this huge or mega project, how it will affect Indian economy?
So Western Corridor is a dedicated freight corridor from Dadri to Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in Mumbai. So it will bring a new investments to our western parts of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. So it will it will uplift the general population in those parts.
What do you know about the uh, privatization, globalization, and there was one another term,
Liberalization.
liberalization? So how it affected the Indian economy, especially uh, after 1990s.
So the reforms taken in 1991, so the liberalization, privatization, globalization has opened our economy for for foreign investments, which has not only brought funds with them but also technology. So for the consumers, the product basket has diversified as well as our efficiencies in the process of productions have increased.
So, do you think Dr. Manmohan Singh's contribution regarding this is huge, or that is not confined to a one person only?
So Dr. Shri Manmohan Singh ji was a finance minister then. Our prime minister was Shri Narsimha Rao ji.
Yes.
So besides these leaders, there are a lot of people who are working in the finance ministry. So it was a team effort, and though our Dr. Shri Manmohan Singh ji has a greater greater contribution, but all has contributed their part.
Okay. Indian economy is not on the path of progress as it was expected or projected earlier because of the coronavirus spreading globally. So, what suggestion would like to give? That's how Indian economy will recover, or it will be achieve its paths and progress for what India is known, or continuously, especially after 2000, after 1990s, is achieving really big targets. So how will achieve a targets of 2020-50 and 2020-30?
So,
It has been projected that India by 2030 it will be the third largest economy, and by 2025 it will be the fifth largest economy, overpowering to UK.
So as we know, Corona is a extraordinary times. So extraordinary times require extraordinary measures. We need to boost our power demand as well as supply side. For boosting that, the government expenditure is needed, which is expected as physical fiscal stimulus in the budget to be announced.
So what the things Indian government try to do at the situation of Corona to increase infrastructures and to increase investment? in India?
So one of the major steps was liberalizing the labor laws. So we amended our labor laws and confined them to four labor codes. So another was we have provided major credit support to our MSME sector, and there were schemes for boosting up the agriculture sector as well.
What do you know about new educational policy? Any remarkable, this a feature of this?
So one of the remarkable feature of new education policy is to bring more practical oriented education from the school level itself, with focus on curriculum such as artificial intelligence, digital learning, financial inclusion.
Okay, the Delhi school educational model is really big, and it's achieving its targets. That's the government of Delhi had settled or fixed. So, what the things should UP governments should do in regards that they should also achieve the path of education, because education is the main thing to strengthen the states or the country. So, what things they should try to learn from the Delhi government?
So first thing we can do is to boost our infrastructure of the schools by providing them digital classes and computer systems. Second thing is we have to deal with the problem of absentees of teachers by motivating them towards this noble goal. So third thing we can do is to ensure the presence of students in the schools by asking the parents to send them to the schools.
Do you think the growing population in Uttar Pradesh is really hurdle in the path of the growth or progress in the economy?
Sir, though the population has contributed to the competition in employment and resources, but if we can, but as we know that UP has the highest, youngest population in our country, if we can provide them skills and better education with employment, we can really make it a boon boon for us.
Do you know about AFSPA, Air Force Special Power Act 1958? So it is recently in news. So what do you know about?
Sir, recent news I have not seen, but AFS OFSA Act gives special power to military personnel.
What's the power?
So one of those powers is to uh, arrest without a warrant, and another is to inspect any premises for any illegal activity without a warrant, and search also without a warrant.
Don't you know where recently Government of India or Ministry of Home Affairs inserted this?
Sir, in the northeastern states, some of them are in under AFSA. So Nagaland, I think, is a state, but I am not sure.
Yes. Another thing is that India is continuously at the eighth time the member non-permanent member of United Nations Security Council. So India should try to go for permanent, or what does India should take steps to be a permanent seat in United Nations Security Councils. What do you think?
So we are cooperating with G4 nations, which include Japan, Brazil, India, and Italy, I think. No, not Italy, Germany. So we are cooperating with these like-minded countries to for reforms in UN Security Council to make it more inclusive.
Okay. What do you know about Bharatmala project?
So Bharatmala is an infrastructure project which deals with connecting uh, road infrastructure across the country. So, but I'm not sure about this. But
Can you tell me the difference between power and authority?
so power has a negative connotation to it, and authority means the authority includes responsibility within itself. So it has a positive connotation.
Okay. What are your preferences in UPPCS after your selection?
So my first preference is deputy collector. Second is block development officer. Third is executive officer, Nagar Panchayat. So fourth is Naib Tehsildar. Fifth is assistant commissioner,
Okay.
MSME.
Okay. Then tell me the what power of deputy collector that is affecting or inspiring you most.
So deputy collector has a diverse role to play in this uh, district's administration. So there is opportunity to work in variety of departments. So that is the most motivating factor.
There is a initiative that is taken by the government of Uttar Pradesh, Mission Shakti. So what do you know about Mission Shakti?
So Mission Shakti is related to women empowerment. We are trying to empower women by providing them livelihood through self-help groups.
Okay, if you are posted in any district of Uttar Pradesh, so if the secretariat or the CM will tell you, just try to empower the women and the child uh, by this initiative, that is Mission Shakti. So what decisions or what initiative you will take regarding this?
Sir, I would first thing I would do is to educate women about their rights.
How will
And
you educate the women? You are a district collector. How will you educate the women?
so we can do this through campaigns in the district I am posted, as well as using the help of NGOs working
So
there.
you will provide the educations to the rurals or the needy persons, needy women, or they are just achieving the education standard. So it didn't indicate.
So by education, I'm sorry, sir. By education, I meant awareness about their rights to the women. So as we can see that many women are not aware of these schemes. First thing will be to make them aware that uh, they have certain benefits among the schemes run by government.
Any theme do you remember regarding this?
Sorry, sir. I'm extremely sorry. I don't remember the theme.
Okay, you don't remember the theme. So then tell me about India and China relations. That there is smooth functioning between these two before some years, but there is a lack of dialogue continuously. But in spite of so many of dialogues between India and China, so there is also disputes between them. So what do you think that's how it can be resolved, especially the border dispute?
Sir, as China and India are both large nations of Asia, the only way possible is through discussions. We need to arrive at a common platform with common goals for the mutual benefit of both countries.
But the continuously bilateral and trilateral, sometimes quadrilateral talks are continued between these two, but the disputes remain the same.
So the disputes are quite complex with respect to the boundary lines, as they both have different views. So to solve these complexities, the multiple dialogues are required.
Okay, do you know why actually the China claiming Arunachal Pradesh, on what basis? Any point regarding this, you do you remember?
Sir, McMahon line was fixed between China and Britishers, but some parts of it is not recognized by the current dispensation in China, so that is causing disputes. The mainly the McMahon line.
Okay, there is a term in international relations, most favored nations. Do you know about that?
Yes, sir. So most favored nations are those nations which a country gives certain benefits regarding to the trade.
So regarding India and Pakistan, how will it affect the Pakistan economy? That's
So,
in yes.
so in terms of trade, we do not have large volumes as per perceived Pakistan. So I would say the most favored nation which we have given to Pakistan is mostly notional and and has a cultural value to it that we value our neighbors.
Okay, that is the good thing. There is one yet another situation question. Situation is that you are a district collector posted somewhere in district of UP, and you hear that there is a bomb blast in your city, and you heard that some of the students are also involved in that terror activities or in that bomb blast. So what will you do after knowing that some students of the university that is situated in your own district?
Sir, since they have been indulged in a very antisocial activity, the only option with me would be to arrest them and bring to the book of laws.
How will you?
Sir, since we would be having our police departments and intelligence agencies to locate those people.
What will your instant decision?
Sir, to consult with the intelligence agencies and the SP of my district to coordinate with on this issue.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Satyendra. Good luck. That's you will achieve your targets in UPPCS interview that is going to be held on 2nd of February 2021. So my best wishes with you, and I hope that you will deputy collector this year itself, and your result will be also very soon, probably in the month of February itself. So good luck and achieve your targets. So best of luck for deputy collector.
Thank you, sir.